Hello friends, welcome to Abidjan all the way in Ivory Coast. Welcome to my AFCON update. In today's edition, we're going to talk about some exclusive from the camp of the Black Stars. We look at Mohamed Kudus, his injury situation and what needs to be done, even when or whether he will be available for the Black Stars game against Egypt. Also, I spoke with some Ghanaian fans. I asked them of their expectations, whether they believe that Ghana can actually beat Egypt or not, and then we'll talk about other things in relation to the African Cup of Nations. I have the results of the games that were played and also the games that are going to be played today, the match day, the time, or the information you need to know so far as the game is concerned. As usual, if it's your first time, hit on the subscription button and let's build this community together. In the past few days, you guys have been exceptional. The love and the support has been great. Let's continue watching the videos, subscribe, share with your friends, because everything African Cup of Nations, we are doing it here on Del Soccer. But without wasting much time, let's get straight into today's video. So the Black Stars held their recovery training. Usually in every football club or in every team, after a match they do recovery training. That's the training after playing the game. Camp was a bit quiet. When you lose games, players are mostly quiet. So Ghana did their training. The update is that the training was held at their usual training grounds. It was pretty much behind closed doors. The update is that players that fully engaged in the game did a small live training, but those that were not involved in the game did proper training as expected. Other thing that we need to talk about is Mohamed Kudus. Kudus' injury seems to be more painful or seems to be more challenging than anticipated or expected, and it's simply because of the injury he had. I understand that he had an injury against Arsenal, and as a result of that, he can't like the technical team and the medical staff needs to continually assess him, and at this point they can't confidently say that Mohamed Kudus will play in our next game, and that is the challenge. The fact that the technical team, especially the medical staff, cannot confidently say that Kudus will play in our next game is what we need to start praying for the team. So I believe as Ghanaians, Kudus at this point, we need him. Yeah, he's just a single player, but the Black Stars really need him. We need him to be available. Also, because there's a West Ham medical staff or a West Ham physio with him, even if Kudus is not half fit and the technical team or the Black Stars head coaches would want to play him, now they can't, because there's a staff from West Ham United who is there to protect the interest of West Ham United. I'm not saying if Kudus is not fit, we should play him, but there's been moments where players are 80% fit, 70% fit, and they are managed into games. Like those times, Asamoah will be managed into games. Asamoah will come and score a goal with malaria. I'm not saying that's what should be done, but back then, Ghana would have been able to have their way, especially the players willing to play and help the team. But this time around, Ghana can't, because West Ham United flew all the way with a physio. So once the physio is around and he knows that Kudus is not fit, you can't play him, there's no way he will watch you inject Mohamed Kudus for him to play. You know what I mean? So that's the slight challenge. But at this point, we can all pray, because there's no way we can play an African Cup of Nations and on the second time, Mohamed Kudus will not get a chance to play again. The reason why the Black Stars technical team may not, may not go over the top to play Kudus is that the West Ham physio with the team, there's no way he will allow, he'll not go allow the player that's, you know what I mean, a player that is not fully fit. But West Ham United will do it. If they are playing a tough game and Kudus is not fit like that, they will play him. But once he's here, he's here to fight for the interest of West Ham United. And at this point, we can only pray and hope that the young man will be ready and fit to at least play against Egypt. Fingers crossed. When you say a word of prayer, say some for the Black Stars, because at this point we really need it. We need Kudus to come around. We need Kudus to come and play some of the games. Now let's talk about some Ghanaians. So Ghana will be playing obviously against Egypt. That game we must win. It's a tough game, but we need to be able to win. It's going to be a difficult game for Ghana, but the most important thing is going all the way and getting a decent results. I spoke to some Ghanaian fans, basically Ghanaian fans in Abidjan, in Ivory Coast, and they are very optimistic. And that's one thing that I like. The fact that they are not happy with the Black Stars and the results they showed up. They still feel that Ghana can beat Egypt. And that confidence is something that I really like about Ghanaians. So let's listen to the Ghanaians and what they said in relation to Ghana versus Egypt.
Even though we lost, that's giving me more confidence because of how they played. I have more hope that matches to come, they'll do better. Because we are sort of motivated by failure, kind of. So I'm really hoping for the surprise, a good surprise, where we make it better in the next game.
Yeah. Are you confident that we can win?
Of course. I believe in our Black Stars. So yes, I'm sure our next match will win. Well, I've not lost hope yet. I look forward to our next match. I believe the boys will do well.
Honestly, for me, two things would have to change. The coach would have to change his style where he's more reactive than proactive. We should start from the front foot. Secondly, the selection has to be top notch. We can't be going into a tournament like this, playing against Egypt in our next game, and you want to start Koningsdorfer again. Nobody understands why he started Koningsdorfer in the first half, but maybe hopefully resting some players for Egypt. I don't know what strategy they had, but we are hoping that in the second game against Egypt, we should start a stronger team. We should start a team who are pushing from the first instance and ending the game very well.
I'm a bit confident. I think they have to play together. They have to play in group, and they should forget the individuals team. No, but they have to play in group. They have to play in team, and then I think Ghana can beat Egypt and then Mozambique as well.
Maybe the next match will get better, but you don't come all this way to support the Black Stars and then our hands go down like this.
Well, how do you also think? How difficult do you think the game is going to be? These Ghanaians feel like it's easy. We can score because this is Black Stars. You know what I mean? We've done it before. We can score in big games, and they are confident that Ghana can get a decent result. So let me also know what you think in the comment section, whether Ghana can easily beat Egypt or not. Now let's talk about the African Cup of Nations, some games that were played yesterday. So we started with Senegal, who just blew away Gambia. They showed that they are defending champions, managed to beat Gambia by 3-0 in a game that they were vintage. And then Cameroon came to play a 1-1 draw, came from behind to play a 1-1 draw with Guinea. It was an intense game. There was a time Cameroon were basically going to lose the match, but fortunately they managed to come back and ended in a draw. And even the fortunate part was that Guinea got the fortunate part for Cameroon is when Guinea got a red card, and then they got the advantage out of that. And then Algeria also played a 1-1 draw versus Angola. Algeria were dominating play, scoring, like playing football, scored an early goal, but at the end Gambia came from behind. Angola came from behind and made it 1-1. That's African football for you. Like, there's no minus. Everybody knows how to play on the African continent. That's something that is exciting. Today, there's Burkina Faso versus Mauritania. It's going to be played exactly 2 p.m. And then there's Tunisia versus Namibia, which will be played exactly 5 p.m. And then the last match of the day is going to be Mali versus South Africa. It's a game that is going to be an interesting game because of the kind of football Mali have been playing now, the investment they've had, and South Africa too, the expectation that their countrymen have for them. Like, South Africa has always come to the African Cup of Nations, and when it matters most, they fail to deliver. But this time around, we are hoping that they will be able to do great, and they will be able to perform very well. So that's all for today's edition of my AFCON updates. We're going to follow everything that happens in Ivory Coast, everything that happens in Abidjan, and we are going to let you know. As usual, my name is Dalali Frank. Until we meet again, bye-bye for now.